From the campus of Mesa Community College, it's championship night here on our Cox 9 Game of the Week. Hi again, everybody. I'm Kevin Ray, joined alongside with Cedric Bonner, and we are pleased to be bringing you this great 3A state championship matchup between the unbeaten Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets and the Bronx of Parker at 10-2. And Cedric, let's take a quick look to see how these two teams managed to get here this evening. Here's the Bronx right there. They defeat Santa Cruz, Round Valley, and a tight one last week in the semis against Show Low.
That was an awesome game, by the way.
We scroll forward now and get a chance to see how the Yellow Jackets managed to get here, defeating Tuba City, Seton Catholic, and one of the few teams to score on this club this year, that being Wickenburg, and that's something we're going to be addressing in just a moment. Let's start, though, with Parker. First-year head coach David Partridge. He has spent 6 years as an offensive coordinator. They run the wing tee, and they run it efficiently.
Definitely. They're very, very, very well coached. He did a great job as the offensive coordinator. He just took right up where he started, where he left off before, and just got this team going in the right direction with all the senior linemen.
And you look pretty good as a coach when you've got a running back like Johnny Ferris, because he has made up a big percentage of their offense, as you can see right here.
Definitely a great runner, knows how to use his blockers, keeps them in front of him, finds his little alleys and hits the hole hard. You get a chance to see him hitting the hole here, makes a good cut, and bursts of speed, breaks a tackle, gets it in the end zone. Very versatile back.
And when you've got the big beef that he does up front, and they total about 1,000 pounds across this offensive line, Chris Foss, J.J. White, it's easy to see why those holes are so big.
Definitely, and the key thing is they're all seniors. And when you have seniors, you know, up front, they're very experienced, very poised, and they know how to make plays for you.
Meanwhile, their opponent tonight, all they have done is set record after record in the state of Arizona football, even on a national level, and they've done it with one head coach over the last 15 years, Paul Morrow. What this man has done with this program is absolutely phenomenal.
I tell you, it starts from the young ranks coming on up. You know, when you get a program that's this successful, you get them when they first get into high school, you teach them a system, they all learn the system, they believe in the system, and he lets the players take care of their own.
They have rolled up some 525 points offensively. They're playing in their 10th state championship game. They have won 7, looking for number 8 tonight. Now, like Parker, they're very efficient at what they do. Tyler Maxwell is a fun one to watch.
Definitely. When you look at him, he seems kind of small in demeanor, but the kid is tough to bring down. When you watch him, he breaks tackle after tackle, takes a bunch of guys to get him down. Here you see on a nice little trick play, you can see his speed to get outside, uses his blockers, makes a nice cut, and just barrels it in the end zone. He's a very physical runner for his size.
And while this offense is rolling up points, their defense is busy shutting people out. One of the reasons, it's not the only Morrow on the sideline. His son Adam, pretty good linebacker.
Definitely is. Makes a lot of plays in the backfield, a lot of tackles for loss. Just a smart kid, always around where he should be. And like the rest of this ball club, they're well coached.
Well, it should be a great 3A state matchup. Let's hear what some of the two coaches had to say coming into tonight's state championship matchup.
You know, we played a great regular season conference, and then Round Valley last week was really tough. We played them well, but we had a slow second half. We knew Show Low would be outstanding, and they were. And we really stepped up and played well. They came out with heart and character, which I've been trying to teach them and preach to them all year, and it's coming through.
Well, it's just a lot of hard work, just like every football team works hard in the off season, and just like we have. And so, you know, we just happen to, it's us and Parker now to see who's going to get the gold trophy.
It's the 3A state championship game. Parker, Blue Ridge, next on Cox 9. Well, a terrific crowd is on hand here at Mesa Community College, ready for a terrific 3A state title game between the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets and the Bronx of Parker at 10-2. The Yellow Jackets coming in unbeaten and looking to add state championship number 8.
Phenomenal record.
Well, it really is. You can just sit in amazement and look at some of the numbers. It'll be the Parker Bronx receiving. They'll get to go on offense first. And we are underway on a picture-perfect championship night. The ball will be fielded deep into the end zone, and Parker will begin offensively out at the 20-yard line. Parker, as we told you, winning against Show Low last week, 28-24, and what a tight one there. Paul Thompson, the starting quarterback. Get a chance to see his numbers. They don't throw the football a lot, but when they do,
He makes good decisions with the ball. And that's important, especially a game of this dynamics.
And the fact that he's 9-1 as a starter tells you all you need to know. They run out of the wing tee. What? They're going to throw it up first. Coming to the outside. And the pass just off the mark. Trying to go to the outside to his halfback, John Nelson. The pass falls off the fingertips. Chance now to see the rest of the offensive staff for this Parker team. Johnny Ferris, one of the players we noted in our pregame. Castillo, Nelson, Woodard, and Hayden Harper. What a mammoth he is, just like the rest of this offensive line. The numbers, 270, 285, 275, 225, and the tight ends, 260. Straight ahead, give to the halfback. Look out, loose football. Thompson, the quarterback, alertly falling right on it. And what a hit we see right off of the bat there for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets.
Tell you what, that's the one thing about this Blue Ridge team. You note their size. They're not very big, but they put the hut right on the football and make plays when they have to.
Well, and you can see this defensive front. Jake Roberts, DJ Michael, Jesse Barton, Eric Juris. You're right, Cedric, they are not big, but they are quick, very fast to the football.
And very physical.
Brings up a 3rd and long, call it 14. Ball is on the 16-yard line. Parker, first offensive possession. Play action. Thompson going to the far side. Got his man out there. And it looks like it's going to be enough for the first down.
That's a tremendous throw and catch right there.
Brent Woodard to split in. Just his 9th reception of the season. He's got 2 scores on the year.
I'll tell you, Paul Insman had great coverage on the plays right there. Ball couldn't have been thrown in a better spot. Used every inch of his body to make that catch. Tremendous catch.
Get to see it from another angle there.
Brent Woodard, tremendous extension. Uses the hands and brings it in softly. Great catch.
I tell you, Thompson made a couple of throws late in that go-ahead scoring drive last week as well that were pretty sharp. They'll come out with a trip formation near side. Straight ahead handoff. Ferris, the ball carrier, doesn't find a whole lot of room right there. He gets dropped at the line of scrimmage. They'll credit him with maybe a half yard on the run. A chance to see the first-year head coach. What a job he has done. Dropped 2 of their first 4 ball games, and then they've reeled off 8 consecutive victories.
You know, the good thing about the change was, you know, he already had a rapport with the kids, so they were used to his system, and he stepped right in and did a tremendous job.
Woodard will split way out here to the near side. It'll be 2nd down and a long 9. Thompson's going to keep it, spinning it back to the inside of the field, crosses the 40 out near the 43-yard line, and he's got about a pickup of 10, so enough for the first down. They'll keep the chains moving.
Little speed option, he gets in and makes a cut. Over pursuit by Blue Ridge, and he takes advantage of it. Just a junior, this kid's a pretty good ball player.
Paul Ensman, the safety, finally bringing him down. Otherwise, he had another nice block waiting in front of him.
Almost looked like he was a little shocked that the cutback lane was there.
Thompson, 6 feet, 175-pound junior quarterback. This time he'll give it to the halfback. Muscles his way forward for a 3, perhaps 4 yards on the carry. John Nelson, the ball carrier.
And it's a little tougher to do, but they've got Blue Ridge off balance right now a little bit, and doing a great job of play calling here.
Get a chance to see the head coach, Paul Morrow. Look at that record, 168-26. He has won 85% of his games.
I don't care what level of football you're playing on. College, pro, Sega Genesis, PlayStation. That's tremendous.
2nd down and 7. Give to Nelson. Working off the big block, tries to bend it back inside, does so, and he's got the football out near midfield. A lot of running for a pickup of 3, but it'll bring up 3rd and short for the Parker Broncs.
The one thing Parker looks like, you know, watching tapes, that they've noticed that Blue Ridge, you know, they overextend the defense. They stretch it out, and they use their quickness to get outside. So they're making a lot of cutbacks early in this ball game, and you know, that's going to carry over for them. If they can continue to do those things, they're going to be successful on offense.
One of the things I was anxious to see is these quick defensive linemen, much smaller than the big offensive front, to see how that was going to play out. Straight ahead give. No, Thompson's going to keep it. Pitches it out deep to Nelson. Turns the corner. Gets to the marker, and he's got enough for the first down. It looks like they'll spot him at the 45-yard line. So Parker putting together a nice opening drive, and you've got to go back to that long 3rd and 14 reception that really got him going.
I tell you, that's a confidence booster. Nice little option. He gets outside, makes a good pitch just in time, and tough running. Doesn't want to. These kids are fired up.
Well, as we mentioned, Blue Ridge making their 10th straight state championship appearance, but they have come up short the last 2 seasons, losing to Payson in 1998 and Show Low last year, 26-25. And it was Show Low that was knocked out of the playoffs last week by this Parker Bronx team. Thompson, deep drop, he's got some pressure, scrambles out of it though. Looking to the man underneath, and he's got him. Oh, what a catch. Nelson, the sure-handed halfback, went up. He looked like Fred Bolitnikoff there with the stick-em all over his hands.
Threw the ball up into a sea of arms, and what a great catch. Great catch. Thompson gets outside, eludes the rush, throws a BB down the field, though, just over the outstretched arms of the defender.
Between 3 defenders, no less, Cedric.
Wow. Garcia just barely misses this ball, and the tremendous catch.
So the early momentum going to the Parker Bronx right now as they've got it inside the Blue Ridge 30. Thompson straight ahead handoff, but nothing doing there.
There's Morrow.
That's right, Adam Morrow, the junior linebacker, 5'11", 183. Just watching him on film, though, he hits like he's about 215.
He does. He definitely does. He hits with a lot of explosion. And coaches like to see that. You know, when guys make the contact, don't just bring the guy down, but explode through the running back or the ball carrier.
Thompson getting a quick check on the sideline with his coaching staff, wanting to make sure they capitalize here now that they've come this far. First quarter action. Glad you joined us tonight for this 3A state championship. Now moving into the slot, the man comes in motion. Thompson's going to keep it, tries to work it back down inside the line of scrimmage, but Blue Ridge sniffed that one out.
Looked like they were trying to run that option again, and the running back didn't get over quick enough. The pitch relationship was a little off on that play, so good decision by the quarterback to keep it. He doesn't force something in there. See, there's no one there to pitch. He's not there in time. Tuck it up. You've got a good drive going. Make a smart decision, which is what he did.
And the linebacker, Seth Crozier, would have normally had that pitch man, but seeing no one out there, he was able to wrap up on Thompson, the quarterback. So another 3rd and long, 11. Thompson, play action. Drops now, looking underneath. He's got Nelson again. And Nelson is showing us some incredible hands and concentration here on the first drive.
I'm not used to seeing this. I'm not used to seeing this in the high school level, but
coming right into your living room.
Another bootleg, gets outside, another hands catch. That's a tremendous attribute to have a young kid that uses nothing but hands. So that's something you try to teach receivers. And there's guys in the professional ranks that don't want to use their hands to catch the ball. And there's 2 great receptions that he's made already using all hands.
Chris Cardona on the stop there, our sideline cameraman tonight.
He looked a little frightened. I saw a little fear in his one eye that you could see.
Thompson coming down the line, pitches deep to Ferris, bends it back inside, 15, 10, inside, down to the 8-yard line.
Hey, they're using their over pursuit against them. They're stretching the defense out as far as they can, and they're cutting back, and the rest of the defense from Blue Ridge is not filling the gaps that they're leaving open. You see the defense running hard to the sideline. Oh, we're going to cut back on you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Matt Garcia wasn't able to break down, and Ferris made him pay for it.
Tremendous cut.
Ferris with a couple of touchdowns last week versus Show Low. 42 touchdowns on the season. So 2nd down and 2. The Bronx marching here on the opening drive of the game. Thompson pitching out to Nelson. Nelson fighting for the corner. He's got the first down.
Face mask.
He's got a late flag as well.
Looked like a face mask.
And you can see the frustration already with some of the Blue Ridge defenders right there.
They've given up 7 touchdowns all year. Given up 7 touchdowns all year, and right now they're just getting the ball just shoved right in their mouth.
Get a chance to see our fine AIA officiating crew. Bob Madrid, the referee, Jerry Heck, Doug King.
5-yard face mask on the defense, 1st and goal.
Our line judge, David Thomas, and Baca. Get a chance to see it from our end zone camera right here.
Tell you what, Paul Thompson's doing a great job in this ball game. Oh, he never lets it go either.
Kenley Reese the guilty party there. And Parker is knocking on the door. Back comes in motion. He'll give it to Ferris. Ferris powering his way straight ahead. He gets stood up at the 1-yard line. And Morrow coming out of the pack with a football, claiming he was able to rip it away. Give him an A for effort, but
Parker does not look intimidated one bit.
well, the thing that you've got to appreciate about both of these schools and these programs is they truly are blue-collar teams. They come from blue-collar cities, and that is played out on the gridiron for these two ball clubs.
A lot of heart and motion on both of these ball clubs.
Second down, goal to go. Parker playing in a state championship for the first time since 1989 and trying to make the most of it here in 2000. 4:42, a fast-moving first quarter, and it's been owned by the Bronx. Stepping inside, touchdown, Parker.
Untouched.
Johnny Ferris giving 33 on the season with that little jaunt.
Actually, that might have been
drive.
Might have been Paul Thompson on that. Will reverse out, and he followed the running back right up in the hole, I believe. But how do you like that? Just take it down the field, shove it right down Blue Ridge's throat. You know, they don't care about the dynasty. They don't care about all the games.
Well, the extra point is partially blocked. Adam Morrow getting a hand on it, so 6-0. Get a chance to see the replay here.
We'll fake the dive inside and follow the tailback right up in there. It's wide open. Tell you what, they could have had a little powwow in there. Just hung out.
Thompson has done some great handiwork with that football this entire first drive, but what
really taking care of it.
Yeah, catches from Nelson, Woodard, the split end on the big third and 13.
And the thing is, you know, they had the one fumble back early in the drive, but they possessed the ball and they ran physical and took care of the football, which is a great thing on a first drive. Take care of the football, get positive yards on each play.
And just look at the time elapsed on this opening drive, nearly 7.5 minutes. 7 minutes, 25 seconds on that opening drive. And the thing you've got to remember too, Cedric, is that many of these Blue Ridge defenders now must put on their offensive caps and try to think the other way.
Well, the one thing that you notice about both these ball clubs, they don't have the numbers that a lot of teams that we've seen all season have. And that's where we say the guts and the emotion and the all those things that you can't teach and put in kids comes out in these two ball clubs.
Back deep, it'll be Tyler Maxwell standing at the 10. That's where he receives the football. Out to the 15, following his block. 25, 30, 35. Look out, stumbles at the 45. Otherwise, Maxwell is jetting into the end zone. This guy has got some wheels.
Not only that, he's an aggressive running back. And you know, when he runs around, he's so quick. He looks like kind of like Tim Dwight from the Atlanta Falcons, just without care, runs in there hard, and if he gets through, he gets through. If he gets hit, he's fighting it. But very aggressive running back.
Well, another Morrow that we'll be hearing from tonight. Alex, the sophomore, 24-1 record as a starting quarterback. So the two starting quarterbacks have 2 losses between them. Morrow rolling far side. He's going deep. He's got a man all alone down at the 15, the 10, into the end zone. Touchdown. First play from scrimmage, Toby Elkins, the split end, getting in behind the coverage. And how about that from the Yellow Jackets?
And he's just a sophomore, folks.
Why take 725 when you can take 10?
Took the easy route out.
Oh my
tell you what,
goodness.
Good job of play action. And the Parker team was still a little fired up from their great drive. They bid on the play action, came running up all out of control, and the safeties lost their containment, allowing the receiver to get behind them. Sophomore delivers.
Well, the PAT is up and good, and with the missed extra point by Parker, The Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets now enjoy a 1-point lead of 7-6. And just sit back and enjoy this one.
Nice little bootleg fake. Great seal on the outside. He has time to set up and just puts all his weight into, whoa, almost got through the breadbasket there. But he's able to hold on to it. Nice job by Toby Elkins.
Johnny Ferris, the safety, he's got 8 interceptions on the season, but you're right, he took a hard bite on that play action and just did not have enough time to recover.
It's the first play of the game. You don't need to be that aggressive, well, on defense, but you know, you can feel the emotions. This is a big time game, championship game, and you don't get to play in these type of deals all the time. So there is a lot of emotions. They need to harness that energy and put it in the right direction.
Well, and the one thing that you've got to remember, too, about this Blue Ridge team, these players have all experienced big game after big game after big game. So for them to get down 6-0, even as what you might consider a demoralizing opening drive that took the better part of 7.5 minutes, no sense of panic whatsoever. Paul Morrow's been there 15 years. These players have all played under his system from junior high on up. And I think they showed that calm, cool, and the poise right there on the first play, which results in the long score. Short kickoff. Parker with a chance to return this one. Ferris out to the 15, cutting back at the 20, trying to turn the corner, getting sprung out of bounds. Finally, he is pushed out there by Chris Spia.
Tell you what, when you have the kind of record Blue Ridge has and have done the things that they've done, every game is a big game because every team wants to beat you. Every team wants to be one of the teams that beats you. So for these guys to get down 6-0 is nothing for them.
So Parker goes back to work. And now let's see what adjustments, if any, the Yellow Jackets have made with this offensive group for the Bronx. They'll send another trips formation out to the far side of the field. Thompson, the field general. Straight ahead give, and he gets wrapped up right there. Ferris on the carry, and it's maybe a half yard.
Not much running room there.
Jesse Barton, 230 pounds, 5'11" senior. And you can look down this roster, and the 200-pounders are few and far between.
Yeah, and so are the seniors, for that matter.
Yellow Jackets with 6 seniors, 5 juniors that start. But you're right, the rest of the way, it's juniors and sophomores. Thompson rolling far side, sets up, guns it. Trying to get to his split end, Woodard. And a nice read on the football that time by Tyler Maxwell, who almost overstepped it.
He did. He ran by the ball. Paul Thompson got lucky on that he's not chasing Maxwell down. Tyler Maxwell has this going for 6. He reads it. Same play. He's been beat on a couple times. Breaks across and just can't make the catch. It's almost going to the well too soon. You know, you might want to try, giving him an out fake and going back inside somewhere, changing the play up a little bit. But they've gone to that play at least 3 times.
Well, you want to make sure and tune into Fox Sports Net Saturday, December the 9th, for the Arizona 4A and 5A high school football state championships live from Sun Devil Stadium. 4A championship game begins at noon, and the 5A title matchup kicks off at 4 p.m. That's the Arizona 4A, 5A high school football championships Saturday, December the 9th, live on Fox Sports Net. Get a chance to see Paul Morrow there, talking things over with his coaching staff. Timeout called by Parker. Third and long, now 3rd and 9 with 3:22 remaining. Ball on the 22-yard line.
Tell you what, Blue Ridge is not going to help Parker out any. So everything that they get, they're going to earn, and it's going to be one of those nights. They're going to have to put it together, put everything together, and do the right things all night in order to be successful.
Let's see if Parker is as fortunate as they were on that opening drive when they were able to cash in on a 3rd and 13. Thompson rolling far side again. He's got a little pressure, steps away from it. Look out, here they come. And that one he can't avoid. as the Yellow Jacket defense came crashing in on him that time. He had nowhere to go.
Yeah, they stunt the gaps. He's rolling left and doesn't have a lot of help out there. He's by himself pretty much. Johnny Ferris was the only person out there helping him. There was three defenders from Blue Ridge.
Kenley Reese got the initial pressure on him. And so now Parker with that big sack forced to punt. And they had some punting problems last week. 2 of them were blocked, but this one they were able to get away. Maxwell comes underneath it, and he gets corralled right there at midfield. Great stop that time by Johnny Ferris. Let's go back and we'll look at that quarterback sack. We'll check.
Tell you what, the one thing about this punt return, he saves his team probably another 10 yards in the roll. So that's actually a smart play for him. He took a little bit of a shot, but you know, he's a baller, he's a gamer. He's going to get up from that.
Well, let's see if Blue Ridge elects to go with the quick strike attack again, or if they're going to start things out on the ground. Maxwell pitched deep into the backfield, and he gets shut down quickly that time as Scott Clark, the defensive end.
I tell you what, they had everyone, including all the assistant coaches, up in the box on that play. They were thinking run the entire time.
Here's the rest of that Blue Ridge offense. Maxwell, Reese.
Execution, that's all you can say. These kids aren't big. They execute very well, take care of each one of their responsibilities.
And here's one of the keys that Blue Ridge loves to throw the other team off with. It's a no huddle, and they will throw it at you quite a lot. Straight ahead give. Maxwell's got it. Carries the pile a couple 2 or 3 yards. You know, after watching him on tape and just a little bit we've seen him tonight, he reminds me a little bit of another scat back type we saw several weeks ago in Greenway's Chris Conner.
Definitely. Looks a little bit like my man Tito. I don't know who would be as quick. I mean, this guy is very quick and fearless.
Maxwell Reese backs in the backfield. They'll give it to Reese, following his lead block off the right side again. Busts away from one tackler, going to the end zone. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets. Just power running there by Kenley Reese, and that has extended the lead now for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets.
Tell you what, great run here. Number 54, Chris Nelson, has a chance to just light him up right in the middle of the hole and kind of tries to arm tackle him. Doesn't want to take him on and gives up a touchdown. He had a chance to blow him up right there.
Had a wonderful block from his guard, Hans Hansen. In fact, just 6'2", 170, but Hansen was the one that got the nice seal block to break him out on the far corner.
I tell you, Adam Morrow is kind of a throwback to me. The linebacker and place kicker.
Pretty good place kicker at that.
As you can see here, Chris Nelson has a chance in the hole and just kind of falls off the side. I mean, it's a great job of blocking, but he met the guy right in the middle of the hole and didn't take him on square.
The inside linebacker Cheatwood also had a chance to try to grab him by the shoulder pads, unable to do so.
And this type of game, you know, those are the plays you're going to have to make.
Well, Reese, who had 155 yards on 23 carries and a touchdown against Wickenburg. You see there on the season what he's provided for the Yellow Jackets. And with Reese, you got to remember, he has tallied those numbers in just 8 games. So now it's the chess match continuing for David Partridge. You see there the first-year head coach of the Parker Broncs, offensive coordinator for 6 seasons, and now head coach and still remains offensive coordinator.
Just remain calm and stay with your game plan. No need to panic here.
Short kick fielded by Ferris at the 5. Out to the 20. 25-30. Still on his feet. And finally brought down out near the 35-yard line. So a very nice return of about 30 yards. And Parker will go back to work after a 3-and-out on their second possession of the night.
What they need here is for their senior leadership, which is up front, their offensive line, to take control of this ball game, get them some first downs, get some of that confidence they were showing early, get it back, and get them going here.
Parker right up on the football. Woodard, the split end, out on the far side. Thompson's going to pitch. It hits the turf, and the running back has no choice but to just drop on it. John Nelson, the halfback, the
Blue Ridge is like one of those mad dogs. They smell fear. You know, when you start putting the ball on the turf and start doing the things that you weren't doing earlier, you know, you don't need to help a good team out. That's what we always say. And right now they're helping Blue Ridge gain more confidence, which they don't need, but they're just giving it to them.
Well, an explosive first quarter. And it finds the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets at 12-0 on top of the Parker Broncs, leading 14-6. We are back with second quarter action here from Mesa Community College on our Cox 9 Game of the Week. Mesa Community College, the scene tonight, and a great crowd on hand here. All these fans driving in from Parker and the Blue Ridge area. Some young ones at that, enjoying a great 3A state championship matchup. Second quarter play finds the Parker Broncs trailing Blue Ridge 14-6. It was Parker who opened up the scoring with a long 7-minute, 25-second drive, and Blue Ridge answered with 55 yards in one play. Straight ahead handoff to Ferris.
It looks like they're not panicking here. They're staying with the game plan, trying to continue doing what was successful early. But right now they need someone to come up with a big play here.
Another 3rd and 13. So far they are 1 of 2 in long third down situations. Thompson's going to roll to the far side. Look out, more pressure. He's got to tuck it. He finally winds it up and throws. The pass falls incomplete, so the Blue Ridge defense, the adjustments paying off. Get a chance to see the Yellow Jackets' last scoring drive. 3 plays, 33 yards, just 2 minutes and 22 seconds.
You know, until they make an adjustment on the third down play, as a defender, when you see the quarterback rolling out one way or another, attack the sideline. You know what I mean? It's making it easy for the defense to cover it. They haven't really done anything across the middle or throwback in this situation. They've gone to the sideline pretty much every time they needed long distance.
Hayden Harper also playing tight end to punt it away, standing at his own 18, gets this knuckleball kicked away, takes a high bounce to the 40, and that is where it'll be marked down by Johnny Ferris. And so once again, Blue Ridge with great field position to start their 3rd possession of the night. Hayden Harper, what a unit this guy is.
6'5", 260. Tight end.
Pretty nimble feet, some pretty good hands as well. I am expecting them pretty quickly to try to get him into this offensive game plan.
He outsizes anyone out there. I mean, they can go to him anytime.
Alex Mora, the quarterback. Quick 3-step drop. Lost one to the outside. Looked like it may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Looked like there was a little pressure on him. Chris Voss, I believe, got in there and got a tip on his hand.
Trying to get it to his flanker out there, Paul Ensman, who has 14 receptions on the year, 215 yards. Not bad numbers to start off a state championship game, or any game for that matter.
10th grade, man.
2nd down and 10. Rolling near side's got some pressure, steps away from it, finds Ensman again this time. He is rocked out of bounds. Out near the 47, maybe the 48-yard line, so they will be challenged now with a 3rd and short.
Which is, you know, you'd much rather be in this situation. It's a nice job of making a good decision. Doesn't try to force it. Could have been a little bit of a late hit there. Wasn't much of a hit, but he gets clipped from behind when the ball's definitely gone for a long time. Had a couple steps. He could have stopped.
They're going to have to keep their eye, though, on number 81, Scott Clark, because that is the third or fourth time that he's been deep into the backfield.
Nice
Here he
play
comes
action.
again. Going deep, he's got his man out there. A lot of contact, but no flag.
Hey, if Morrow has another second or a split second to put something on this ball, this could be another touchdown here.
Alan McGuire on the coverage that time.
It's a great play action. Look at the poise by the sophomore. Stands in there, gets a little pressure, throws it up, a little wobbly. Just off the fingertips. Very good fake, good poise. With a defender barreling down on him for a 10th grader, that's definitely a great job.
Toby Elkins, the intended receiver, just couldn't quite pull it in. And so the Yellow Jackets will be forced to punt it away for the first time this evening. Johnny Ferris will stand back around his own 18. Fake, ball is loose, look out. They were trying to go to Morrow, or Paul Ingeman rather, who was the up man. And the snap was too high. And one of the few mistakes you're going to see a Blue Ridge team make. Last week they ran the fake field goal, and
it was hard for me to believe that they were going to punt that ball. And sure enough, they go for the fake. Snaps just a little high, gets away from Ingeman. Big turnover for Parker.
And now let's see if the Bronx can take advantage of this. Blue Ridge coming on a jailhouse blitz, loose football. Looks like Blue Ridge has got it right back. And the ball came firing out of there. I'm not even sure if the running back ever even had it.
I'll tell you what, they're getting so much penetration up front that as the ball's being handed off, the ball carrier is just getting absolutely smashed. As you see here, it's getting put in there, boom, gets a hand right in there. As soon as there's penetration inside, the offensive line has got to do a better job of keeping those guys out of there. You can't have that early penetration in the backfield. It'll kill your running game.
Like Ingeman, the safety, came up to recover it, and they get the football back and lose only a few yards. As a net result, look out, Maxwell in the clear out over the midfield and down close to the 45-yard line. Boy, he looked like he was shot out of a rocket after he passed the initial line of scrimmage.
Some quicks, and he's a physical runner, as we've said. You know, he's not afraid to run in between the tackles. Gets it up inside, runs up his lineman's back, throws him out of the way, and just gets down the field for some good yardage.
So first down and 10 now for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets, already leading 14-6. Handoff, look loud, Reese cutting back at the 35, 30, running to the end zone. Can they get him? They have not got the wheels. Kinley Reese, touchdown Yellow Jackets. Wow. Well, you talk about great field vision. This young man has shown it twice already tonight.
Tell you, a tremendous cutback. Nice job up front by the offensive line. But I still have to go back to that turnover. When you get a chance against a great football team to put points on the board, you got to take advantage of it.
Kinley Reese
makes a nice cut. And, oh, another good cut. Leaves defender standing there.
And the missed tackles right now are just killing the Parker Bronx.
Tell you what, they came out very physical on the offensive end, but defensively they're not being physical enough with this ball club. Extra point's good. By the lefty.
A chance to see it right here.
Good blocking up front, good seal blocking. And a nice little cut move right there. There's three defenders from Parker standing right around him. Can't make the tackle.
Brent Woodard tried to grab him by the shoe tops. Already 78 yards on the night, 2 touchdowns for Kinley Reese.
Tell you what, with Tyler Maxwell back there, you don't get a lot of carries, but this kid is a tremendous ball player.
Had 108 carries coming in, and that's not a bad average, Cedric. 3 carries, 78 yards.
Great average.
And just like that, Blue Ridge, who watched Parker shove it down their throat on the opening drive, has come back with 21 unanswered points and started with their first play from scrimmage, a 55-yard strike, and they have not slowed down since.
Well, that's about a 14-point swing back there on that turnover. You know, they get the fumble from Blue Ridge and can't do anything with it. That kills them. Now they got to do something to get their spirits up here.
Short kick fielded by Ferris at the 6, and he's upended at the 21-yard line.
To
And
David
that's where
Russell.
the Bronx will take over.
David Russell, number 57, is just playing the wedge buster tonight. Sprinting down there fast as he can and just running right through the middle of the wedge. I don't know if he's making any tackles, but he's ruining some blocking assignments.
And having a lot of fun in doing so. So now it's up to Paul Thompson in this Bronx offense to try and get something generated. And it seems like since that opening drive, Blue Ridge has made adjustments, and Parker has not yet, as they go off that right side and find very little running room.
Well, it looks like they're overloading their strong side or their strength side, tight end side, what it could be. And maybe they found a tendency where that's where they like to run the ball, and they're overloading that side and shooting the gaps and making plays.
See that small but quick and very aggressive defense for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. 2nd down and 7. They actually credit him with 3 on that last carry. Nelson. Play action. Thompson deep drop. Look out. He's got pressure. Just does get it away. Push from behind and a penalty flag. It'll be pass interference as he was coming to the outside. Sergio Castillo. Paul Ensman, the safety, just getting there a step too soon.
Official right on top of it. That's a great call. Tell you what, he is lucky he got that ball away. I was thinking it was about to be a sack, and he did a nice job. Stands in there tall, delivers a decent ball out there.
Yeah, Seth Crozier, the linebacker, was just a half step late.
Ensman just delivers a blow just a little too quick.
Defensive pass interference. Automatic first down.
I think he could have waited and still separated the ball if he'd just taken his time and waited on it.
And it was going to be a pretty tough catch anyway because it was out in front of him. And so Parker getting the first down by penalty, but they will take it, trailing 21-6.
Yeah, any way they can right now.
Ferris the lone back in the backfield. Pitch from Thompson. Cuts it back. 45 out near midfield.
That was not a very good play by the defense on that play.
And a lot like what we saw in that opening drive from Parker, where they were, as you noted, taking advantage of the sometimes over-aggressive Blue Ridge defense.
Jason Frayne and DJ Michael both attack the quarterback. Who's got the running back? You know, you got to know your assignment. Someone has to have the pitch guy. They both attacked the quarterback on that play and left him vulnerable for a big run.
Russell, the linebacker, with some over pursuit there, and Ferris made him pay. Give him 10 on the run, another first down. Nelson, the halfback, comes in motion. Straight ahead give. Ferris out over midfield to the 49-yard line, a pickup of 1.
I'll tell you, with their size disadvantage, they're using their size to submarine and get some penetration in the backfield. And when you can't get your feet going, or when you have to stop in front of your blocker, behind your blocker, you can't hit the hole running. It's tough to get it going.
After a quick moving first quarter, the second quarter slowed down a little bit, but nothing has slowed the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets just yet. Thompson straight ahead give again to Ferris. Bends it back inside out to the 40 near the 39-yard line. He'll be just a yard extra for the first down, so give him 9 on the carry.
They're finding some good running lanes in there. It's another quick hitter. See the hole there. Ooh, Russell overruns it. As linebacker, you got to fill that gap, and David Russell just overran it just a little bit.
Now, Blue Ridge is a team that gambles a little bit defensively. They will run blitz, pass blitz. Now they're playing straight up. Again, Ferris this time working off the right side, a short gain. Pickup of maybe 2. 1,700 yards rushing on the season for Johnny Ferris. This team has churned out some 2,200 yards of total offense in this wing tee. Boy, not a seat to be had here tonight. You can see them standing with their backs up against the fence.
I tell you, some faithful fans making long drives.
Thompson, quick drop, trying to go to his big tight end who was split out, Hayden Harper. Harper looking to the sideline. Miscommunication there. Harper looked like he was running a 6 back to 5, and Thompson thought he was running a quick out.
2 back to 3. Plus, whenever you're running a hook route, you don't turn away from the quarterback. You always turn your shoulders back inside, and I believe that's what the quarterback and the coaches were trying to tell him. He might have turned outside when he was waiting for him to come back around to the inside.
3rd and 9. Ball is on the 38-yard line. Trips formation to the far side. Ferris the lone back. Thompson coming down the line, looking for the pitch, not there. He will be dropped after a gain of maybe 1. So it'll bring up 4th and long. And what do you do here, Coach?
Tell you what.
You gamble a little bit here. I mean, you're down 15 points. It's still early in the second quarter. Do you pin them deep?
If you make an aggressive attempt on a 3rd down there, instead of that play, I don't know if their play chart might have been short for where he was. Didn't have a play at the time, but take the play on 3rd down. Right now, it's a tough situation to gamble here.
Kinley Reese talking things over with his head coach Paul Morrow, and what a first half so far for Kinley Reese. Get a chance to see his scoring action on the evening so far. 2 touchdowns. Here's the first one of the night.
Missed tackles are big right now. Parker's missed a ton of tackles.
That helped extend the lead to 14-6 in this one. What a run. Nice cutback, and then sprinting to the end zone. 3 carries, 70-plus yards on the night for Kinley Reese.
He wasn't even in our feature. I guess he decided to come out and say, we'll show those guys. Doing it on both sides of the football tonight, making a lot of plays on defense as well.
This is a young man that played at Sholo last year, and as we noted, Sholo winning the state championship, but transferred a couple of games into the season and now is wearing the yellow jacket, purple and gold, and very happy to be doing so. Inside give to Ferris, running for the sticks, and he's still running to the 20, down near the 15-yard line. And the timeout paid off big time for the Parker Broncs.
Great execution of a draw play. Obvious pass down. Nice job of selling it. And he makes a guy miss in the hole. And as we've already shown how the missed tackles have hurt Parker, missed tackles right now are going to hurt Blue Ridge on this play as well. So great call and great execution by Ferris.
Johnny Antoni had a clean shot at him in the backfield, but couldn't wrap him up. And so now Parker deep into Blue Ridge territory. Ferris, no, Thompson's going to keep it. Ball is stripped and loose. And the football is grabbed by Blue Ridge. Oh, what a killer turnover right there. Thompson faking the handoff, bringing it down the line, and looked like he was just starting to kind of wrap the football up, but the defender got a hand on it and stripped it away.
So he does a nice job, but as you saw when he came around, when you get there to a defender, you can't have the ball in one hand.
Seth Crozier, the linebacker.
And you see the pitch relation there. A little bit too tight, a little too close. Needs to get a little separation.
And it looked like it was Jason Frayne who came in and recovered it. So a killer turnover right there. Look out, Priest on the loose again and stumbles as he tries to cut back.
I guess he's the only guy who can tackle himself right now. He's the only one who can stop himself. Because I tell you what, if he didn't fall down, he's still running right now.
Watch it for yourself as he just explodes to that line of scrimmage.
Watch out for that paint.
This looked like the turf kind of came out from underneath him a little bit that time.
He's running too fast for his feet.
Now Morrow directing traffic out there. Insman into a slot. Wide out same side. Give it to Maxwell off the left side. Not much room there. Chris Nelson, the outside linebacker, coming into tonight with 30 solo tackles, a sophomore. So plenty of playing time ahead of him.
Outside linebacker. That's great size for any level.
Just starting to grow, too. That's
all right. They'll have him down in tackle next year. Offensive tackle.
Wide out coming to the near side. 2nd and 9. Inside handoff. The back leaps over. Look out. Loose football. No, they say it was down on contact. And so Blue Ridge will keep the football. Paul Insman breathing a sigh of relief right there.
Looked like his forward momentum had stopped. See when it comes out. Oh, that's a fumble. That's a fumble. He's still alive.
They're looking to be very close.
Gone down.
3rd and 4. Ball is on the 40. Reese, look out. Midfield, barrels over one defender, spins his way forward to the 45. Boy, this kid just...
Is Tyler Maxwell the featured back in this backfield? Because I'm not seeing it right now. Kinley Reese is just... He's running the ball with quicks. He's running it with power.
And he got a nice block from his backfield mate, Tyler Maxwell.
Ferris wanted no part of that collision. He's hurting a little bit out there.
5 carries for 108 yards. He had 155 through 4 quarters last week. Maxwell into the secondary. Look out. Cutting back at the 30. Stumbles. 25. 20. Still on his feet. Finally knocked out of bounds near the 15-yard line. Boy, both these backs show great balance and terrific field vision.
Starts the play out to the right. Good vision. Good job blocking downfield.
And
he
again,
just
the missed tackles.
Great balance right there.
The missed tackles for the Bronx of Parker just killing them here in the first half.
And Ferris, I tell you what, they're taking their shots at you. When you get a chance to take a shot, take a shot.
Split backfield. Reese, look out. He's headed to the end zone again. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets. Kinley Reese, his 3rd score of the night.
Seems like Parker's a little confused on the inside. The interior defense is just getting manhandled by some guys with smaller stature. They just are a little more hungry than they are. Nice trap play, and he just hits the hole.
And you're right, that's the one that's tied them up all night, the trap blocks, and they've yet to figure it out, and clearly not getting the communication up front that they should be. 6 carries, 124 yards, 3 touchdowns. Point after attempt is up, and it's good, and it's 27-6, Blue Ridge.
Is it too early for a player of the game?
Well, somebody's going to have to do something quite spectacular to take it away from this guy. You see the blocking that we were talking about right here.
I tell you, the center's just manhandling the guys up front. Nice trap, and he just hits it. Simple dive play right up the middle. I tell you,
they have every reason to be waving the Yellow Jacket flag tonight.
Come back with 28, and I don't want to call them unanswered because they're a solid 28 points.
3:45 remaining in the first half, and what has made this equally frustrating for the Parker Bronx is that they have had 2 or 3 golden opportunities. They had the ball down on the 15-yard line to fumble. They had the fumble on the fake punt and then gave it right back.
Turned it right around and gave it right back to him. And those are the things that'll hurt you when you can't capitalize on a good team's mistakes. You know, when a good team makes mistakes, you've got to make them pay for it. Whether it be 3 points or whatever, but you've got to get something out of it.
And as we've discussed, it's one thing not to capitalize on their mistakes, but then when you compound it by giving it right back,
Exactly. They had a
team
nice
like
drive.
Blue Ridge is
Had a nice
definitely
drive going down. Moved the ball well.
another short kick. This was going to be angled to the far side, down to the 2-yard line. Taken by the deep man under the 10. 15, 20, 25 is where he'll be shut down. Brent Woodard, the return man that time for the Parker Bronx. And Johnny Ferris, we saw in that last defensive stand for the Bronx, took a couple of shots and he was slow to get up. Ferris normally the return man there, but he is coming out for the offensive possession.
I'll tell you what, when you're in a championship game, you can't let the little knickknacks bug you. You know, this is the one chance you're going to have. You know, Parker's not been there. Blue Ridge is there every year. When you have an opportunity to upstage a great team, you know, you got to suck it up and take care of business.
Thompson giving to Nelson, trying to turn the corner, but all you see is white, purple, and yellow.
None of the players are staying on their blocks. They're looking a little tired right now. They're not sustaining their blocks outside. The receivers aren't blocking outside. The running backs aren't blocking for the other running backs. You know, right now they need somebody to put a little spark in them and get something going.
And when you have the kind of size that this Parker offensive line has, it really gets to a point of frustration where you're being beaten by a man who's 40, 50, 60 pounds lighter than you are.
It's all heart and effort and desire. You see the penetration again.
Straight ahead give, and look at that. You've got 5 Parker offensive linemen standing up. Meanwhile, 4 defensive linemen for Blue Ridge who take the ball carrier to the turf.
The one advantage. The one advantage.
5 plays, 72 yards, 302
Go defense!
on the touchdown drive for the Yellow Jackets, and much of the scoring has been done by that man right there, Kinley Reese.
The one advantage you can give Blue Ridge, because of the size that Parker has, is their leverage. And it's showing, you know, they're in the backfield on every play. And like I said, they're gambling, but they're making the right choices while they're gambling on defense.
3rd and 11. Parker needs to work some magic here. Thompson pressured, look out, he's going to be dropped. Thompson goes down, and Eric Juris got in there first with 2 or 3 other of his defensive teammates. And since that opening drive, Blue Ridge has pretty much stuffed anything and everything, and particularly
There's
on the
just too many Parker guys standing around, not really blocking anyone, looking confused, and Blue Ridge knows where they're going. They're going right to the quarterback.
Another timeout here. This one called by Blue Ridge with 1:54 left on the clock. Well, championship football right around the corner for you. You want to tune into Fox Sports Net Saturday, December the 9th. The Arizona 4A, 5A high school state championships live from Sun Devil Stadium. The 4A championship game begins at noon. The 5A title match follows at 4 o'clock. It's the Arizona 4A, 5A high school football championships next Saturday live on Fox Sports Net. December the 9th, state championship action.
I wonder when they bust the kids down for the games. If they let them, you know, come down last night and hang out and get a good night's rest down here.
I think it might depend on what school. Caden Harper gets another knuckleball away, another short kick, and it will be down at the 47-yard line. So that's where Blue Ridge will take over, leading 28-6. With 1:54 remaining here in the first half.
It's almost a better situation for him than letting Maxwell get his hands on the ball again, because the guy's been unstoppable.
Well, and that is the kind of strange thing is we expected to see a lot more of Tyler Maxwell. Perhaps we will in the second half, but he has scored from virtually everywhere on the field during the season. 2 touchdowns on punt returns, 3 on kickoff returns. 31 touchdowns total on a year. Out of the shotgun, Alex Morrow is going to step up into the pocket, throws it, picked off, dropped. John Nelson, who made those spectacular catches on the offensive side of the football couldn't hold on to that
I
one.
think he got started running a little too quick. I'm a little surprised with this play call. He had the receiver up top here wide open to his right. He steps up, tries to force it over the middle, sails on him just a little bit, hits him right in the breadbasket. He can't bring it down. That's kind of afternoon or evening they're having right now.
They'll go with another wide open formation here. Kinley Reese, the lone back in the backfield. Parker with 3 down linemen defensively. Reese straight ahead. And this time they finally get a hold of him at the ankle tops and don't let go. And big number 65, Sean Poole, for the Parker defense brings him down. Poole 5'11", 270, the nose guard for Parker. Blue Ridge right back up on the football. Quick swing pass to the outside. He's got Maxwell working to the sideline, tripped up, but he does have enough for the first down. Ball will be spotted at the 40.
I tell you, these guys are so quick. They're running so fast, they're making themselves fall down.
Well, the 5A playoffs brought some big-time surprises. And how about the Gilbert Tigers? 40 points on the Mesa Jackrabbits. In fact, that game was a blowout. Mesa putting some points on the board late. Nigel Kelly, 160 yards. How about Red Mountain? Stunning Brophy. Sal Point shocking Hamilton, and that shocked all of us who saw that score. And Westwood doing the same to Peoria. I think the majority of people around the state thought sure that they'd be looking at a Hamilton-Peoria semifinal matchup, but that just goes to show you, you've got to come out and play. In Westwood, there is a team that likes to do it on the ground.
I put Hamilton in the championship game already. I mean, I thought they were one of the better teams that we'd seen all year.
And we'll get a chance to see that Gilbert Red Mountain matchup next Friday night. Trips formation near side. Maxwell goes in motion, lays a vicious crackback block. Coming down to the inside, he's got his man at the 25, trying to step away from the defender, does so, but finally is brought down. Chris Villa. Villa doing a nice job of right back up to the line of scrimmage. 17-yard pickup, under a minute to play. Morrow going to the air again, looking to the end zone. He's got Villa, battle for the football, touchdown, Yellow Jackets.
Took it away from
He just took it away from Woodard, the cornerback. It was a jump ball, and Villa just went an inch or two higher to take it away. And what a shock that's got to be to the Parker Broncs. And we've got a player down right now for Parker.
Maybe losing in the championship game last year has a little bit of something to do with these guys right now, but they are fired up and they want to get this championship. Hangs it up, gives his receiver a chance, which is, as a quarterback, the #1 rule. Don't throw it out of the end zone, don't throw it out of bounds. Give your receiver a chance to make a play for you. He goes up and makes a great catch.
And Woodard just didn't look like he was able to get turned around and get a good read on the football. Now, he plays split end offensively, so, you know, as a receiver, accustomed to having to make those adjustments, but couldn't get turned around this time. The injured player for the Parker Broncs, Chris Foss, the big defensive tackle, 6'2", 285 pounds, and he is unable to put any kind of weight at all on that left leg. And we certainly hope that he is going to be all right. This is a team that's been without one of their other players for much of the season already with a knee injury, Michael Plunkett, a senior who was lost in the Fountain Hills game to an ACL tear. And that's where you'll see the number 12 being worn in the Parker helmets.
He's in a lot of pain right now. It's definitely an unfortunate injury.
Morrow on to attempt the extra point. And there is still 54 seconds left here in the first half. The PAT no good, but quite a mountain to climb here for the Parker Broncs. They scored on the opening possession of the night.
Haven't been heard from since, basically.
And it has been a long night since that time as they continue to work on the big fella, Chris Foss. And we hope he is all right. And he's a player that no doubt they can't afford to lose. Well, we want to remind you of what's coming your way at halftime. A visit from head coach Paul Morrow, the Blue Ridge head coach, and our closer look, taking a look at abstinence in our high school, a program that's run by the Arizona Department of Health. Monica Perez will have a visit with Todd Cooley. All that with halftime stats and highlights, and there are plenty of those, so we want you to stick around for the halftime here in our Cox 9 Game of the Week. Anyways, no wonder Kenley Reese is smiling. No reason not to smile, and Paul Morrow, I'm sure, just trying to keep his team a little level-headed here, keep them focused. Nothing has been won just yet. They have dominated since that first score. Short kick, fielded out to the 25, and it'll be a short return. Chris Nelson, the upbacks that time, bringing it out. Parker will have the football and perhaps one final opportunity to try to get on the scoreboard, but this Blue Ridge defense has given them fits since that opening score.
Well, they've had some opportunities to sustain drives and keep drives going, but you know, they make the big turnover on an early down situation when they really don't need to. I mean, those are things that you can't come back from, especially against a great team. You can't be consistent and take care of the football.
Straight ahead give. Ferris, the ball carrier, gets spun around after a short pickup of 2, maybe 3. And Parker's more than likely going to be content to just kind of run this clock out, get into the locker room and try and recuperate, reevaluate. And
tell you what, these guys from Blue Ridge, like we said all night, small in stature, but a lot of foreign tackling going on down there on the field.
Well, it's easy to see why this team between 94 and 98 reeled off 63 straight wins as Paul Thompson is just rocked there,
you know,
by Morrow. Thompson's in some obvious pain.
I tell you what, when you're running the football, if you decide as a quarterback that you have to run it, you need to be physical as they're going to be. And he kind of turned the corner a little timidly and looked like he was almost shocked that he got hit when he did.
Halftime here in our 3A state championship battle between the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets and the Parker Broncs. 34-6 Blue Ridge on top. We're back after this. Welcome back here to Mesa Community College. The band playing out there right now, and the music has been playing for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. You can see by the score 34-6. One of the young fans enjoying this one tonight. A lot of fans in attendance here, and they have seen the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets just absolutely put it right to the Parker Broncs, but it was the Broncs who got on the board first, going on a drive that lasted 7 minutes, 25 seconds. Thompson, the quarterback, took it in, and you thought, look out here, they just drove it right down the field, but Blue Ridge wasting absolutely no time. The young quarterback Morrow rolling out, striking to Elkins 55 yards out, and that one took 10 seconds versus 7:25. It was 7-6 at that point, and then the hat trick began for Kenley Reese. One of 3 touchdown runs so far on the evening.
Took it over. Ran with power, speed, great vision. Here you see the nice cut back outside. And turns on the jets.
He's had some marvelous downfield blocking, some poor tackling by Parker, and it has created one nightmarish evening so far for the Parker Broncs as he gets taken down from behind, but too little too late there. And then Morrow, working late into the first half, decides to go up top And what a great catch here by the split end, Chris Villa, just taking it away from Woodard, the cornerback.
It's all desire, man.
And the numbers tell the entire story. 317 yards total offense. Pretty balanced. 189 rushing, 128 passing. And the turnovers, they have killed Parker. The one turnover that Blue Ridge did have, Parker turned it right back over, and that's been one of the killers. No penalties for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. 8 first downs, but right now Parker has to try and solve the defensive problems that they are having with Blue Ridge, and they will try and do it immediately because it'll be Blue Ridge who will receive the second half kick. And the second half is coming right up after this timeout. Back at Mesa Community College, Kevin Ray, Cedric Bonner, our entire Cox 9 crew. 34-6 is the tally at halftime. We showed you what occurred in the 5A playoffs last night. Let's take a glimpse of the 4A action from last night. How about Chaparral, the defending 4A champions, with their hands full with Tolleson, and they just do slip past Mike Bell and company. 22-21. Bell with another big night, but not quite enough. Saguaro knocking off Tempe as the Buffaloes fall short. Sunnyside over Coconino, and Sunny Slope behind Mike Nixon, 23-20 over Agua Fria. Well, those players and those teams trying to march towards Sun Devil Stadium. And you can tune in to Fox Sports Net Saturday, December the 9th for the Arizona 4A, 5A High School Football State Championships live from Sun Devil Stadium. The 4A championship game begins at noon. The 5A title matchup kicks off at 4. That is the Arizona 4A and 5A High School Football Championship Saturday, December the 9th, live on Fox Sports Net. 34-6 is our score here. The two teams making their way out to the field. We'll take a quick timeout. We are back with a third quarter kick right after these messages. Now the Parker cheer squad trying to get their team fired up, and they've got a lot of work ahead of them, trailing the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets 34-6, and much of it is because of that man right there, Kinley Reese. 3 rushing touchdowns on the night as this Paul Morrow coach team tries to become the 6th undefeated Yellow Jacket Blue Jacket club. Think back to that long win streak, 63 straight wins, second longest in the nation at the time. They won 4 of their 7 titles during that stretch, only 2 losses in the last 77 games, those both coming in the last 2 years in the state championship, losing to Payson in 1998, Show Low last season by 1 point, 26-25.
Hey, they're coming out fired up.
See the numbers there on Kinley Reese. Hasn't even carried it 10 times, and he has 129 yards. Now, to give you an idea of just what this program has accomplished, and to be honest here, we live down here in the valley, so we don't really hear that much about the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. What we do hear a lot about is Sabino, Mountain View. Well, they are 113-10 in the 90s. That is a 92% winning percentage. Mountain View at 114, Sabino at 112, the only 3 schools to win 100 games in the decade of the 90s. That tells you all you need to know about Paul Morrow and this program. And the other, I think, really intriguing story is some of our crew had a chance before the season began to go up and watch a couple of their practices. And the way he conducts the practices are just in such a professional manner, never raises his voice with the kids. And a lot of that, Cedric, just comes from the fact he's been there 15 years. They run this system from the time they start playing in junior high. And these players all police themselves because it becomes such a sense of pride that they don't want to let him down, nor do they want to let one another down.
Or the town. You know, it's a sense of accomplishment when you can carry on the tradition and keep it going, keep it strong, and leave it as strong as you came into it as it was. You know what I mean? You come into a tradition that hasn't lost a game, you don't want to be the team that ruined the streak or had one loss in your career. You want to go out with no losses. And I tell you what, it's a trust issue. You know, the coaches get the players to trust them. They believe in the system. And then from there on, it's easy. And that's what happens up there. They trust the coaching staff. They know they're putting them in the position to be successful. So they give themselves up and they perform. They police each other. They don't allow for the, you know, shenanigans to go on. And they take care of business.
Well, there's another team that's starting to believe in the system, and that being your Phoenix Suns. They defeated Golden State last night. Suns back in town on December the 3rd for a key Pacific Division matchup as their rival Portland Trailblazers head to town, led by Rasheed Wallace and company. Game night starting at 5:30 for Suns Live. Don't miss any of the action on Cox 9 with Phoenix Suns on game night. I'll have a chance to host that one next Sunday with Tom Leander back on the sidelines doing play-by-play with Cotton Fitzsimmons. Looking forward to that. Always a big-time battle with the Portland Trailblazers and the Phoenix Suns.
Rasheed's middle name should be technical.
Well, the quarterback, Paul Thompson, we saw him go down late. In fact, took a pretty wicked shot right before the half, and he's getting retaped right there.
Okay, I know Blue Ridge gets the ball first, but why? You had 20 minutes in the locker room. Why do it now? You know, take care of that stuff early on.
Unless perhaps they did retape it and it just didn't feel comfortable enough. And you know how that is with a tape job. You get used to it being just so.
Yeah, I get taped by the same guy every time.
Here's the shot we were talking about right at the end of the half. And let's see who is it by. Oh yes, Mr. Morrow himself.
As you saw when he turned the corner there, he kind of like slowed down like they were blowing the whistle or something. Didn't expect to be hit.
And that's not the right guy to slow down against.
You know, you got to be physical as they're being physical with you. You got to be physical in there.
Adam Morrow, the
the
defender in the Morrow family, while his younger brother Alex takes care of the offensive side of the football. Adam comes in with 160 total tackles, 34 of those being solo.
Tell you what, every one of these guys is a foreign tackler.
So trailing 34-6, the Parker Broncs will tee it up and kick off to Blue Ridge to open up play here in the second half. It'll be Tyler Maxwell back deep. He has returned 3 kickoffs on the year, 4 scores. Hayden Harper to handle the kicking duties. A short end-over-end kick, and it will skip out of bounds. And so Blue Ridge will get things cranked up, and very anxious to see what adjustments were made at halftime here by the Parker coaching staff trying to slow down this offense. And it was the trap blocks that really gave them fits.
Couldn't stop them up the middle. Tell you what, Parker's going to be without Chris Foss for the rest of the game. He's out down on the sidelines, got his shoulder pads off.
And that is a tough blow, losing him on both sides of the football.
That is too bad. Senior, last game, playing the championship.
Foss was the starting right guard and also manned the defensive front there for the Parker Broncs. And 6'2", 285, that is a whole lot of size to try to make up.
Just want to congratulate him on a great season. Keep his head up. Keep working hard.
Short kick fielded by Maxwell at the 14-yard line. Straight ahead. Look out. He comes flying through the coverage near midfield. And he's got one man to beat, and he's not going to get him. Mr. Maxwell to the end zone. Touchdown, Blue Ridge. Give him 4 kickoff returns on the season for scores. Oh,
even though Blue Ridge would have gotten the ball in great field position, the coach has enough confidence in his players to make a play for him. He has them re-kick the ball. And just as advertised.
Look at the wall. Just look at that wall.
And I tell you what, he reminds me an awful lot of Tim Dwight from the Falcons. Kind of lollygags up there and it just bursts and explodes. Great job of blocking by the Blue Ridge team. makes it an easy run for him, and that's not the way to start if you're Parker.
Well, any kind of, renewed sense of confidence that you may have tried to give yourself at halftime has just quickly been deflated by Tyler Maxwell.
Watch him set it up. He kind of jogs and then bam, turns it on, hits the hole, and just outruns everybody. I don't even think he got touched until his team came over to congratulate him.
Well, he only had 7 kickoff returns on the season. He averaged, Cedric, get this, 55 yards per return, 385 yards on 7 returns, 3 kickoff returns on the season. Now give him 4. And
dynamic duel right there. Those two guys are absolutely tearing it up tonight. Maxwell and Kenley Reese.
For David Partridge, he is trying to keep an optimistic outlook, but it is not an easy thing to do when you are trailing a team as dominant as Blue Ridge is, and you are trailing big. 35-point deficit now for the Parker Broncs.
That's all I can say as well. They had such a promising start to this ball game.
Really, just really, makes you appreciate all the more about Blue Ridge's fortitude. Woodard with a nice return. He'll punch it out to the 30-yard line, and that's where Parker will begin their first offensive possession of the second half. And what makes things even more difficult now for Parker with this very quick, very aggressive defense already, they can afford to gamble a few more times now. You've got a quarterback who's hobbled a bit.
Big lead. They can actually get after and pin their ears back and stem the house.
All things playing into the favor of the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets right now.
As a quarterback, this is not the...
Nelson, the man in motion, loose football, and Blue Ridge scoops it up. So this is the point where the wheels are just completely falling off of the Parker Broncs. The ball carrier, Sergio Castillo. Get a chance to see it from our end zone cam. Just a straight ahead handoff, and Castillo just never looked like he had the football.
Tell you what, the one thing you want to see as a senior, you want to play with pride. And you don't want to lay it down right now because, it's a big lead. You're fighting against a tough team. But play with pride.
Morrow fires a quick bullet out to Ensman, the flanker. And he'll pick up maybe a couple of yards. It'll bring up 2nd and long. We've already got 1 score on the kickoff return by Tyler Maxwell, and Blue Ridge threatening again after forcing the 3rd turnover of the night against the Parker Broncs.
Oh, it's not even a situation of them forcing the fumble. That's a simple exchange from quarterback to running back, and it was lost. And
split backfield, straight ahead give. Maxwell up the left side, big hole, look out, shooting for the end zone, still on his feet, and he'll score. Touchdown, Blue Ridge. Tyler Maxwell apparently now trying to match and equal the numbers of his backfield running mate, Kenley Reese, and he does it in the span of about 2 minutes.
Did you see him split the 2 defenders? 2 defenders have an angle. Another quick trap. Nice cut, good vision. And you see him right here, just runs right through the 2 defenders. Arm tackling, not really bringing their weight. Tell you what, these guys run physical and they run fast.
Well, that's the thing that's surprising me a little bit about this Parker defense. You get a shot of Ferris right there. Ferris came in standing straight up, a runner, as you noted, runs with great explosion. I mean, you've got to try to lay the wood on him, and you certainly can't arm tackle him, and that's what we've seen way too many attempts to do tonight.
They're playing too high. You see the linebackers and defensive linemen are a little bit too high. If he comes and brings his body, comes through, drives through the guy, he shuts down that tackle, but he tries to arm tackle him. And being a running back himself, he should know better than that. He needs to bring it. Play with some, put some pain on these guys. They're dominating you right now. inflict some pain on them the legal way. You know, make some tough tackles, some physical tackles, because that's the only pride you're going to get right now.
Well, I tell you, when you play football at Blue Ridge, there is such tradition, and there have been so many great players and great teams that have come before you that you would think, as you see the scoring drive right there, 2 plays, 28 yards.
These are arena football drives right here. 2 plays, 28 yards, 42 seconds. That's too long. Ours would have took about 26 seconds or something like that.
But clearly these kids do not seem to be affected by the tradition or the pressure, if you think that's what it might be, because of all the wins and the records. Instead, they use that as their fuel, and that's what keeps them driving. You never want to be the team at Blue Ridge that lets down or that creates any kind of
Exactly. It's like
a break in their system, if you will.
It's like the old, Dallas Cowboy teams. When they walked in the training camp, they knew they were going to be in a position to be in the NFC Championship game, and that's how these kids are. When they walk on campus there, they know they're getting ready to play for a couple state championships.
48-6. Parker just trying to find something positive to start working with here. Ferris off the right side, spun around, and he'll pick up 3 tough yards right there. It was interesting in talking to Paul Morrow before the game, talking about the wonderful weather that we've got to play with tonight. Says they were just happy to have temperatures above freezing. He said in the last 3 weeks they have had to plow their field twice because of snow. Being there in the White Mountains with 7,000 feet elevation, they've had 2 heavy snows up there already. So as Nelson takes the pitch, works it around the outside corner out to the 40, 45, midfield, still on his feet. Being chased from behind, and finally get caught at the knees at the 17-yard line. So John Nelson giving the Parker fans reason to cheer.
It's good, and it's good to see him play physical and keep playing hard. They haven't had a lot to cheer about, but this is a tremendous run. Great balance on the sidelines there. Gets hit, kept those big feet inbounds, and kept rumbling down the sideline.
Got a nice downfield block from his wideout, Chris Woodard. Chris Villa finally chased him down from behind, but it's the first real positive thing that Parker has had going since early in the first half.
And if they can replace their offensive line next season, with all the juniors in the backfield that they have, they're going to be tough again next season.
Pickup of 1 on that carry for Ferris is Thompson. Well, you can see him coming back from the huddle, hobbling.
This is where you build your character for next year and for your future guys. Keep playing hard. Don't worry about the scoreboard. Just keep trying to improve and do better things for the rest of the game.
A junior quarterback trying to show his leadership here. He'll keep it down the line of scrimmage, pitches out to Castillo, and Castillo quickly swarmed under as he gets maybe a yard on the carry, so it'll bring up 3rd and long as they find themselves deep in Blue Ridge territory.
You might want to run somebody over with the play to him so he doesn't have to run all the way over. It's obvious he's limping and in a lot of pain. Help him out by maybe running a receiver or somebody over to get the play for him.
And you could see David Partridge, the head coach and offensive coordinator, looked like he may have looked in the direction of a backup quarterback or some kind of help here. Thompson coming down the line, pitches, bad pitch, loose football. Ferris falls on it, and clearly the ankle affected him right there. He didn't get down the line quick enough.
Well, the call kind of baffles me in this position, this situation. He's hurt. Why put him in a position not to be successful? He can't move as well as he normally would. Don't put him in a position to be unsuccessful. Allow him to make plays and do some things. He's limping around. Don't call for him to roll out or to run an option play.
4th and 19. The ball is marked on the 26-yard line, and David Partridge right now looks like he might be willing to take a delay of game penalty here unless he calls a timeout. And that appears to be the case. And you could see he was just trying to burn as much time off of the clock as possible with his team trailing 48-6. Well, it was a Kenley Reese show in the first half, and so far here in the first several moments of the second half, his backfield mate Tyler Maxwell has taken over.
I'll tell you, that looks so much like Tim Dwight. I mean, it's amazing. He just jogs up, finds a little crease, and is able to put the gas on and go.
84 yards on the kickoff return.
And there you see the power that he runs with.
Wow. Tyler Maxwell just putting on a show so far here in the second half. Well, we've got 3A championship action here tonight. Next week, we've got 5A semifinal action for you. Next and last high school football game will be next Friday, December the 1st, 7 o'clock, with Gilbert and Red Mountain, as we'll be coming to you from Mountain View High School. Make sure you make plans to join us. Thompson dropped on the 4th down play, trying a rollout, but can't plant his foot properly, it doesn't appear. And
every team has a straight drop back. Allow him to straight, well, he tries to drop straight back, and then the pressure gets there, so can't fault that. You got to fault the players up front protecting for you. You know your guy's hurt. Do a better job. Get better as the game goes along.
And Cedric, under these circumstances, with Michael Plunkett, the senior quarterback who started the season, he's out with an ACL tear, has been since the Fountain Hills game. The only player that they could turn to right now would be a sophomore quarterback, Brett Yarborough, who's 5'6", 130 pounds. Taking over, look out, Ensman with the football, and he rumbled for nearly 15 yards on the carry.
Unless Thompson's extremely bad off, you leave him in the ball game, and you let him suffer his nuts. I mean, this is what's going to make him a better player next year, by having these difficulties tonight. It's going to make him a better player, and let him learn how to win as well as how to lose.
Well, the biggest thing he's got to do right now is just keep moving around, as we see him standing down away from his other teammates. Clock continues to run here. Blue Ridge in complete control. Off the left side, Reese spinning away from the defender, cutting back inside. Looks like a face masking penalty could be called. He'll pick up maybe 6 on a carry.
I'll tell you, this guy is strong.
Well, you hear that phrase, country boy strong,
He
and
is.
that's what I gotta believe he is.
He is. He's a strong guy. Keep your head up, Paul Thompson. You got a lot of games to play.
Thompson just trying to move around, keep that ankle from stiffening up. It is
Face mask penalty on Parker. First down.
You know, it's tough to tell young kids to not worry about it, keep your head up. But at this point, that's all you can do. You can't really worry about what's going on the scoreboard. Do some positive things to give yourself some confidence and get a little of that self-esteem back.
And we've seen David Partridge, the head coach you just saw a shot of, talk with his quarterback as he comes to the sideline, and Partridge has been trying to do just that. Man wide open, he's got him down there just off the mark. Morrow can't find his intended receiver as he was going down to Ben Cedillo, a junior split end.
Diamond turned.
Second down and 10 now. Ball at the 40-yard line. Still a lot of football to be played. Inside handoff, Maxwell, look out as he pushes Cedillo away from him, blasting his way to the end zone, touchdown, Yellow Jackets, oh my. Just says, get out of the way, pal.
If you're not going with me, get the heck out of my way.
I can't say that I have ever seen anything quite like that.
Another same quick trap play that they've killed him on all night, and he just he shoves his guy out of his way.
Cedillo is trying to get down there,
trying to help him out. He just shoves him. So does he get credit for a tackle and a touchdown on the same play?
Well, we were wondering when Mr. Maxwell was going to rear his ugly head for the Parker Bronx defense to get a dose of, and we have had the answer. Cedillo has gotten some playing time here in the second half, but he says, you know what, I don't care. I was part of the touchdown run. Doesn't matter.
Quick hit trap.
Trying to get downfield to block Ferris. It wouldn't have mattered. As you see the nice little swivel move put on by Tyler Maxwell. Now 9 carries, 127 yards for Tyler Maxwell.
I'll tell you, I think they'd be better off just resting Ferris up, keeping him on offense, because he's not helping him much at the safety position right now. And I don't know if he's nicked up a little bit or...
Yeah, we saw him take a couple of pretty wicked shots midway through the second quarter, and
punch.
Part of being a young player, you have to learn to be a little bit smarter.
Dead ball.
Oh, offsetting.
Offsetting, so the officials right there on top of it, picking up whatever it was that baited Mr. Nelson. So, Paul Morrow.
But I like the youngster's aggressiveness, though.
I just had a note passed to me here, Cedric, by Larry Bettis, our stat man tonight, sitting in for Bob Corwin. 259 yards combined for Maxwell and Kinley Reese. And we've seen Reese only carried one time in the second half. Thompson trying to go down the near sideline. Looked like it was picked off, but no, they say skipped on the turf as Maxwell couldn't come away with it. That's the only thing he hasn't done tonight is pick off a pass, and he nearly did it right there.
Thompson needed about a split second more to throw this ball, and he has the receiver going up the sideline. I think it was Brent Woodard. It's wide open running up the left sideline. Couldn't get enough on it.
And, you know, the player that they have done a really nice job of taking out of this offensive attack, and I'm speaking of Blue Ridge defensively, and that's the big tight end, Hayden Harper. We thought we might see him a little bit tonight, but he has had to stay in block a heck of a lot more.
They've only thrown one ball to him, and that was early in the game on that first drive.
Straight ahead handoff, net's only a couple of yards, so it'll bring up 3rd and long here. .6'5", 260-pound senior.
I wonder how many colleges are trying to get a hold of that kid. He's got good feet, great size.
15 receptions on the year, 328 yards.
But he will be on the end of the line somewhere as a tackle. Right there.
Thompson and company go back to work, flips it to the outside. Nelson has got it, but the Blue Ridge defense has him as well.
You know, right now is a situation where I think, you know, Paul Thompson's letting the ankle or the knee get the best of him, and you know what? You're going to have to play hurt and injured sometimes. You know, right now, believe that you can play and believe that you can make plays.
Seth Crozier, the linebacker, making the stop that time. So Hayden Harper, the tight end, now becomes Hayden Harper Hunter, standing at his own 21-yard line. A little skip on the snap, but gets away a good punt, and he will pin Blue Ridge down inside their 20-yard line at the 16, it looks like, call it the 17, and that's where Blue Ridge will begin leading comfortably 54-6.
He's been a tremendous display. I'm very impressed with not only the coaching job, but the way the kids, take it on the field, because all the coaches can do is get you prepared. And you still have to go out and make plays and do the things that you're taught. And this is about as disciplined team as we've seen.
Go back to work offensively they go. Give off the left side to Rees, rumbling forward out to the 30. The 32 is finally where they bring him to a stop. Pick up a 13 on the carry.
He says, don't forget about me. I'm still here, too.
He and Tyler Maxwell putting together their own personal highlight reel tonight. It might take 30 minutes to do the highlight package following the game here this evening. The way these two have lit up the scoreboard. Straight ahead handoff, not much room there.
It's the first time they've stopped the trap play right up the middle.
And they'd like to have had that stop about a quarter and a half ago.
I'll tell you, and the good thing is they're still playing hard, and that's a tribute to the coach. Coach Partridge has got him playing physical still and still trying to make plays.
Well, you can see him on the sideline. He has tried to remain very upbeat, very confident with his team. The ball was stripped away. Yes, Nelson, the linebacker, took it away from the back as he was making a turn to the outside, just ripped it away and started heading the other direction. So the Parker defense coming up with a big stop and the turnover.
There's that sophomore we were just talking about. Makes a great play, strips the ball, and just takes off the other direction. That's a tremendous play.
Kenley Rees just fighting for extra yardage. It really does tell you about the strength of this sophomore, because he just
years old.
had to fight it and rip it away from Kenley Rees. Second turnover of the night now for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. The first one coming on the fake punt. The snap a little bit high. Thompson straight ahead give to Ferris. And not since that opening drive have they had any kind of success up the middle against this Blue Ridge defense.
It almost looks like when they're handing the ball off to the backs, the Blue Ridge players are trying to strip the arms away from the football and not trying to tackle, but trying to just strip the ball and separate the football when they run that quick hitter up the middle.
Thompson coming down the line of scrimmage, a deep pitch to Nelson, trying to follow his lead block, does so, stays down the sideline and just does fall out of bounds. And we've seen some terrific balance displayed by Nelson. That long run several moments ago, and he shows it again right there.
Tell you what, he's a big guy too, and runs the ball hard, follows his blockers, good patience there. Shakes a tackle. Ooh.
Just couldn't quite get those shoulders.
You could have got the shoulders
squared
turned.
back around.
Arm tackle. You can't arm tackle a big guy like that.
And so once again, Parker deep in Blue Ridge territory. They've only been here a handful of times tonight, and each time a miscue has killed the drive. This time a short out route thrown to Woodard, the split end. Thompson on the completion, gets it down near the 10-yard line.
Looking to see him get a little confidence. Something to make him feel a little better about his foot, his leg, or whatever's hurting him.
Split backfield now. Nelson in a slot, coming in motion. Thompson straight ahead give, now bent it off the left side. It's Ferris over the 10, down inside the 9-yard line. Football looked like it was loose, but he was down.
They have got to take care of the football.
Jake Roberts scooping it off the turf.
I'll tell you, the turnovers have killed him all day. He breaks tackle, gets outside, and it's like they have no regard. They're just laying it down on the ground.
Clock continues to wind as we're moving closer to the fourth quarter here. Split backfield again. Nelson again coming in motion across the formation. Thompson straight ahead, handoff to Ferris. Working his way off the right side down near the 5-yard line. It's going to be very close to a first down.
With their size, they should be moving this defensive line off the football. But because they don't play with good leverage, they kind of lean. They're kind of big guys and they kind of lean instead of, getting low and driving their legs and staying down. Blue Ridge gets low, they get great leverage, so it's hard to move them, even though they're outmanned by 40 pounds across.
First down and goal to go for the Parker Broncs, and right now this becomes a real battle for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets, who have allowed only 5 touchdowns all season long, and one of those coming last week in their win over Wickenburg. And it looks like we've got some early movement up front for that Parker offensive line.
Prior to the snap, ball start on the offense, 5 yards, repeat, first down, 65.
You heard the players ask, who was it? Sean Poole.
He knew who it was. He wasn't asking. Feels like he's in the pros right now. They called his number on the air for the wrong thing.
And Poole has moved over to that right guard spot that was manned by Chris Foss with his injury. As now Castillo goes in motion out of the backfield. Thompson, quick drop, looking to the outside. Woodard out there, but well off the mark. And Thompson unable to get that foot planted, and we just don't see the same zip on the football that we did in the first half, particularly on that first drive where he was throwing some BBs.
On this play, they try to run a quick, short corner, and all he has to do is throw it up there with a little touch and allow his receiver to get outside and get to it, but he tries to short arm it, throw it real quick, and it's a little too fast for his guy to get there.
Second and goal to go from the 10-yard line for the Broncs, scoring on the opening possession of the ball game, have not sniffed the end zone since. Nelson will now split out to the far side, Woodard to the near side. Castillo in motion, left to right. Thompson play action, dumps it off to the big tight end. Hayden Harper still on his feet, jumps away from one defender and jumps into the end zone. Touchdown, Broncs. There's the big fellow we were talking about.
Second ball they've thrown to him. Both of them were big plays, and he made big plays. It kind of baffles you. Why don't you go to that guy? He's definitely just too big for the defenders.
Well, alone to get their arms around, much less try and
260. The old swinging gate.
Thompson running far side, still on his feet. That's probably not the play you want a hobbled quarterback trying to run, but they attempted nonetheless.
I tell you what, the play's good call. Didn't have enough patience to wait. He had his big tight end open again.
Here's the touchdown right here.
Just the fake dive, pop to the tight end.
And you can see normally the sure-handed tackler, Adam Morrow, just couldn't get both arms around those huge legs of Hayden Harper.
A high school tight end, 6'5", 260. And that's only the second time we've gone to him. They've gone to him all night.
Ten seconds remaining here in the third quarter. And the Broncs have something to cheer about for a few moments anyway. Well, this is one of the reasons we thought that Hayden Harper might be a bigger part of their offensive package. You see him right here showing nice soft hands and some pretty good footwork as he runs away from the defenders of Sholo. And in fact had 2 big catches on that all-important winning touchdown drive.
I just think you put the ball in the hands of your best players and let them make plays for you. And that's only the second time he touched the ball. And as you saw, how difficult it was to get him down.
Harper now tees it up. Short spinning kick. This is going to go out of bounds, and I would imagine it Paul Morrow will
kick it
do as he
again.
did last time. Yeah, back him up 5 yards.
If they make me kick it again, if I was Parker, I would onside this kick right here.
Tyler Maxwell's already returned one for a score tonight of 84 yards. That's how play opened up in the second half here.
I'd come running up on the ball full speed just like he's doing and just punch it. Try to get it to go 10 yards, get a couple blocks from your outside guys, and let the big fella pick it up. They're standing at about 12 yards away from the ball, so there's a little room for it.
And with a guy like Maxwell back there, you know they are thinking about one thing and one thing only, and that's getting the return wall set up. But instead it'll be a short kick fielded at the 19 by Maxwell, waiting for that wall. He's got it out to the 40, 45, 50. Look out. A wall of blue defenders, though, rocked the football loose, but not before Maxwell with a better than 30-yard return. So Blue Ridge already into Bronc territory.
Tremendous average. Yeah, that young man on kickoff returns.
That's probably one of his worst of the year, just
Shorter
31 yards.
You're gonna have to substitute, get somebody else in there. He's not pulling his weight anymore.
One tick on the clock remaining here for the third quarter. Blue Ridge with a commanding lead and the football. Firing it out. Alex to Adam down the far sideline. 30, cutting back at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Yellow Jackets. Final play of the third quarter. The brother-to-brother connection.
And I tell you, I don't like to call people out, but that defense was not running to the football. And you know, you're being beaten up right now. It's all about having some pride. You know, you did a great job getting here. Don't finish the season this way. Just a swing pass, and where's the rest of his help? First of all, you can't take that angle as a cornerback. You have to force the receiver to go back inside. You can't get cut off.
Cut back on Ferris, who has had all kinds of problems tonight. And after he got past Ferris, it was just a race to the end zone. And so Adam, who has been making big hits defensively tonight, comes up with a big hit here. Third quarter coming to a close, and it closes with an exclamation point, just the way it began. And it's all Blue Ridge in this one, 61-12. We are back with the final quarter in this 3A state championship after these messages from our sponsors. Well, Adam Morrow, the defensive Morrow of the Morrow family.
He got a little offensive on that play.
Boy, I'll say, from his brother Alex, the sophomore. And has helped extend this lead now to 61-12. Short, high kick fielded at the 10. To the 15, out to the 21. Woodard on the return. First play of the fourth quarter right there. Get a chance to see a replay of this kickoff following the touchdown.
And I tell you, look at all the guys from Parker standing around. A good player, Johnny Ferris right there, just stands there and lets a guy go right by him. It's typical of the evening, but you don't want to go out here like this. Don't want to go out that way.
You got to remember, too, Ferris is a junior like his quarterback, and I think the point that you made is very important to remember, Cedric, and that is...
Prior to snap, we got a false start on the blue, 5 yards, still first down.
This is a team that's going to have a lot of players returning, and this is not game film that, as an underclassman, you're going to want to see.
Definitely
because
not.
you want to build on something. Whether you get beat by 15, 30, 40, or 50, you want to know that you came out here and you left it all out there on the field.
And I don't think all of them can say that right now. There's some that have, but there's more that haven't.
Inside handoff from Thompson to the back as Thompson continues to try and gut it out here.
I mean, I just don't like to see that. You have to learn how to lose games and lose big games. You know, I've done it. You know, and the reason we were able to win championships is because we had that heartache, and we suffered the big losses. But you know, we never quit. And the one thing you can do if you don't quit, you can build a lot of momentum for the following season.
Woodard and Nelson will split out to the near side. Thompson, three-step drops, got pressure, tries to run forward to the 20, and that is where he will be dropped. And Thompson in some obvious pain right there. Eric Juris coming up to make the stop. And Thompson with that bad wheel just unable to really get anything going from a scrambling opportunity right there.
Well, he's got guys running open down the holes. It's a matter of that offensive line having some pride right now and not accepting what's happening to him.
Thompson, play fake to Castillo, flips it now to Nelson, who gets freight trained from behind. And nothing doing right there is Juris again. The defensive end had that one read all the way. And that'll bring up 4th down and long now. And Parker forced to punt it away once again. Tyler Maxwell back deep to receive. He will be standing at his own 46-yard line, or at the Parker 46-yard line, I should say. Aiden Harper back deep, punting. Kicks a wobbler that takes a high bounce at the 47. Skips over midfield and will be down at the 40-yard line for Blue Ridge to begin yet another offensive set.
He's going to thank Tyler Maxwell for not fielding his last 2 punts because it just helped his average out a little more.
Well, Maxwell can't quite boast the numbers on punt returns as he does on kickoff returns, but I think that's all right. We'll let that go. Averaging 15 yards a return on 16 of them through the season. So the Yellow Jackets go back to work. Looks like maybe some new offensive faces out there for Blue Ridge. We'll try and pick up some of those players for you. Hand off to Innsman off the right side, now spinning back towards the middle of the field, and finally brought down at the 45.
Get the young offensive linemen in there. They're still taking care of business.
Like Josh Reedhead also checking into the ball game as a flanker and wide out. Alex Morrow, the young quarterback, though, continues to run the offense.
He's making 25-1 as a starter. Unbelievable.
As a sophomore, that's what is just mind-boggling. Off the left side, the ball carrier trying to push the pile forward.
So he was 13 years old last year playing in the state championship game.
And lost by 1. See Chris Nelson. I think certainly Nelson is one of those Parker players who has been laying it on the line tonight. We've seen him come up with some big plays.
He's definitely played his guts out.
Tight formation with 2 slots to the near side. Hand off on the left side. Looks like Innsman, the ball carrier again. He's got enough for the first down, so they'll move the chains, wind the clock, and keep it moving. So there we see Innsman on the sideline. And they're taking a look at him.
Looks like a cramp.
Well, Innsman's kind of been their Mr. Versatility, do-everything player.
Offense,
14
defense.
receptions, 215 yards. He had 67 carries on the season, 7 touchdowns, over 300 yards rushing. Clock continues to roll here as the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets marching towards their 8th state title. Lance Brown, sophomore running back now in the ball game, as they're shuttling plays in and out.
Even with their backup line, they're still just marching.
Down the line he comes. Morrow's going to hang on to it. He gets roped from behind by Woodard, but not before. He picks up
Great fake.
the necessary yardage.
That looked like a Jamel Holloway fake back from Oklahoma. Wishbone.
Well,
Rides
Cedric,
it deep into the line of scrimmage. You can't tell, and he just pulls it out. Defense is fooled. And that's a great fake. For a sophomore, this guy is a polished player.
his brother watching all the way. And we should note that it will be 8 state championships on the 3A level. They won 2 at 2A, so 10 all told at this little school in the White Mountains that does nothing but win. As Reedhead getting a chance to carry the football tonight. 5'6", 140-pound junior enjoying some time in the state championship spotlight this evening.
He ran with a little bit of power there as well. I mean,
well, you know, it's like we talked about earlier. When you get on the field and you're wearing this uniform, whether it's for 2 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, you better go out there and give it your all, because it's not just the coaches who are watching. Hand off deep. Lance Brown, sophomore running back, getting a carry of the pigskin. And the Parker defenders very slow getting up here. Clock continues to run.
Yeah, they've been on the field a long time tonight.
Well, and with the majority of them being two-way players, it makes the night especially long.
You know, Blue Ridge is dealing with the same thing. They've got a lot of two-way players as well. Probably that high altitude's helping them out.
Yeah. Handoff from Alex to his brother Adam off the left side, and he jets forward over the 10 down inside the 8-yard line. And it'll be 1st and goal to go for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets, leading 61-12. The Broncs got on the board first with a long march that chewed up 7 minutes, 25 seconds. We were both raising our eyebrows at that steady diet, a little run, pass, mix. Got them into the end zone, but since then it has been all Yellow Jackets. Morrow straight ahead give, and you can just see that pile moving forward, moving forward. Adam Morrow, the ball carrier.
Tell you, there's no better feeling than to play for a championship, and it's amazing. You know, it's something that no one can ever take away from you. You're always going to be in the history books. It's a great feeling.
And to be a part of a state championship, winning it, is Reedhead fights his way towards the goal line. Looks like he's going to be just shy. To win it as a part of this program, I think adds even more luster to it, Cedric.
It's business as usual up there, and when you're a Blue Ridge Yellow Jacket, every team is gunning for you every year.
And it's a time in these young men's lives that, you know, they'll never have another opportunity to do something like this. Straight ahead give. Brown's got the football, and Brown has the touchdown. The sophomore running back getting the carry and getting the score. And right now, the Parker Broncs looking at the scoreboard and the clock, and that 3:56 can't elapse quick enough as far as they're concerned.
Good job, Brown, protecting the football up in there.
And I'm sure some people, Cedric, at home watching might be looking at this and saying, well, you know, my goodness, 67 points. When does it become enough? But you've got to remember, folks, much of this drive right here was done with the second unit.
The only starter still in the ballgame there is the quarterback, basically, Morrow.
Lance Brown will find his name in the stat sheet of the championship game. Another
exciting
special moment for that
Very
young
exciting.
man.
You can see he's all smiles, too.
Sophomore, 6 feet, 165 pounds. I would imagine that we'll probably be hearing his name a little bit more next season. Both the Morrow boys will be back. Alex will be a junior, Adam a senior.
Tremendous program.
You've got Toby Elkins, who caught the first score of the night as a junior. He will be back.
Insman's a junior. Unbelievable, man.
Matt Garcia, Jake Roberts, defensive end. Seth Crozier, the linebacker's also a junior.
You're going to have to move these guys up to 4A.
And Richard Watkins. Just a few of the players who are starters tonight and who'll be back as seniors next year for Paul Morrow. A spinning kick will be fielded at the 5. Boy, it looked like it was.
How does that happen? That's not possible.
It looked like it was shot out of one of those passing machines, like the. I don't believe I've ever seen that.
I was
at least
trying
not
to
go that distance.
I didn't want to say anything. I was squinting my eyes trying to look at it. Is that spiral?
One of our producers and directors, Rich Reed, of course, a former kicker, NAU, says, yes, it can and does happen, guys.
I don't think he liked that kick too much.
Ball will be marked at the 35-yard line. 3:45 remaining. As the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets and their well-traveled fans just waiting for the clock to run. Nelson down the far sideline and caught from behind by the linebacker, Adam Morrow. Nelson is another one who has continued to play very hard here for Parker.
I'm happy to see him do this because he's been one of the guys that's left it all on the line. And I mean, this defeat says nothing of his courage and heart to keep playing hard in this situation. It's a tough thing to do, but it separates the real good ones from the average guys.
And Nelson, along with his quarterback Thompson, one of the players who will be back next season for David Partridge, whose team will complete the 2000 campaign at 10-3. Thompson, hand off the right side. Ferris working off the outside corner to the 20, 15, 10, fighting for the end zone, and just does step out of bounds. And it looks like the line judge has him marked out at around the 9-yard line.
Ferris has been sandbagging us a little bit, saving up all that energy. Great cut, breaks a tackle there. Garcia comes in with his head down, tries to arm tackle a pretty good running back. Can't do it. Almost gets it in.
So Parker trying to put a few more points on the board so that it doesn't look quite so bad tomorrow morning. Thompson, hand off the left side. Nelson's got it. Nelson's fighting for the end zone, and Nelson scores.
The only bad thing that does is give the ball back to Blue Ridge. But you got to remember, this team gave up 7 touchdowns the entire season up until tonight. So it's a credit to Parker's offense to be able to score on them. I mean, they've scored 3 touchdowns tonight where, you know, that's a dream for a lot of teams to score 3 touchdowns against the season.
Boy, made a nice move right after he got the handoff. Looked like it was designed to go left and just kind of
made a cut.
Slip step the defender. And rumbles in from 9 yards out. Thompson, the holder, PAT is up, and it's good. 67-19. Under 3 minutes to play now. And I would imagine from here on out that Blue Ridge, following the kick will just try and keep it on the ground, play ball control. They are ready for a little trophy ceremony that'll be coming up after the ball game.
Tremendous game for Blue Ridge. And I tell you, at the beginning of the game, I had a feeling that Parker, especially the way they came out on that opening drive, a little pass, a little run, mixing it up.
And John Nelson, see the numbers there with him. A couple of big runs here in the second half.
Good
chatting with his quarterback, Paul Thompson, and you can bet that these two will be talking a lot about what occurred here tonight during the offseason.
There's the pie in the sky right there.
And the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets at their high school have quite a stock of those.
Got to build a separate trophy case.
Well, they've got 9, and they are making room for number 10 as we speak. State championships, at least on the 3A level, 1987, 1989, 1990, and then 94 through 97, 4 consecutive titles before losing in the state title game the last 2 years. Well, they have returned here in 2000. Ball will be returned out to the 41-yard line. Chris Villa on the return. Villa and Chris Nelson sharing a little laugh out there. I really like this Nelson kid. I think that David Partridge has a good one on his hands there.
Tell you what, he's young, aggressive, and he seems to be around the ball quite a bit.
Alex Morrow remains at the quarterbacking post for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. 2:49 away from yet another state championship. Reedhead gets spun around at the line of scrimmage and then whipped backwards for a loss of a yard.
I tell you, when he gets that ball, it's like he's shot out of a cannon, though. He comes out of that backfield.
Yeah, I'm sure, watching Tyler Maxwell, some pretty good runners to try and emulate that Kinley Reese and Tyler Maxwell. Straight ahead give. Spinning forward, it looked like Adam Morrow, the ball carrier. Picks up maybe 5 on the carry. Clock now under 2 minutes to go here. 3rd down and 6. Ball at the 44-yard line. And David Partridge making some wholesale substitutions. Just look at the rushing yardage, 315. Give off the left side. Morrow again the ball carrier.
I knew the rushing yards would be huge. I'm interested to see the total yardage. It's got to be over 5. Well over 5. I'm gonna gamble and say 5, about 520, 530 right about now. Total yardage.
Total yardage for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets. We'll put Larry Bettis to work here. He's got that Texas Instrument smoking suddenly here, Cedric. 5:23. We have a winner, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
You win a year's supply of rice-a-roni and
only the
other Cox 9 studio
right
favors. They come up short of the 1st down, and so Parker will take over on downs here on the 4th down run. Morrow thought he had it, but not wanting to make a big enough stink to get a measurement. They'll give it back to Paul Thompson.
Shows you the class and the discipline these players play with. You haven't seen any of them argue with officials. Haven't been any scuffles out there on the field. I mean, this team This team is well coached and very well disciplined.
So despite a bad ankle, Paul Thompson has remained in the entire second half. He has gutted it out and has tried to keep his team together. Well, we certainly want to take a moment as time continues to wind down here to applaud all the fans who made their way out here to Mesa Community College tonight. Both schools and programs well represented here. As we get a little early work off the line of scrimmage right there by big number 65, Sean Poole.
Well, I tell you what, if you're going to miss, you're going to get a penalty. Get a penalty.
Make it good.
You're going to get one, get one.
Prior to snap, false start on the offense, 5 yards.
And he's pretty lucky they didn't tack on a personal foul on that.
Yeah, because he kind of continued to drive on through it. But again, a round of applause deserved for these fans who have made the trek down from the White Mountains and western portion of the state. Parker High School, they have supported these schools very nicely tonight.
Great crowd playing for them.
Final play of the 3A state championship right here. Ferris off the right side. The clock will run and give them another title. The Yellow Jackets can proclaim themselves champions of the Class 3A in the state of Arizona once again. Well, you see some well-deserved hugs from father and son just a moment ago there. Adam going over to his father, Paul. The Yellow Jackets are champions. We're back with a trophy presentation after this timeout. Well, you see what they have been playing for all season long right there as the players all trying to get their hands on it as we welcome you back here to Mesa Community College. Kevin Ray, Cedric Bonner, our entire Cox 9 crew, and we salute the 3A champions. The Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets winning it tonight 67-19. 8 state championships in the Class 3A, 2 and 2A, 10 now, all told for that Yellow Jackets football program. And they have all come under the head coaching of Paul Morrow, who has just completed his 15th season. And they also, we want to note, become just the 6th undefeated Blue Ridge Yellow Jacket team. That's also something that's a little extra feather in the cap.
I tell you, it's a great tribute to the coaching staff. Anyone that's ever taken a journey to a championship knows that there's trials and tribulations along the way, things that you have to overcome. And it's so worth it when you could hold that trophy up and know you're going to get that championship ring or have the banner in your stadium or whatnot. I mean, it's such a great feeling. You can't even imagine.
Well, time now to acknowledge our Dodge players of the game, and that is the case tonight. And you see both of them right there, Kinley Reese, Tyler Maxwell, and what phenomenal performances these two young men put on. And we get a chance to show you some of their handiwork tonight. Kinley Reese, the first running touchdown of the night for the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets, busting it off of the right side.
Like he owned the first half.
Really was a tale of two halves for both these running backs. Reese about 129 yards in the first half.
Power and speed.
And here's another one right here. A little bit of everything as he just carries the defender into the end zone. Tyler Maxwell, our other player of the game, well, he wasted no time. He started things off with the opening kick of the second half. Watch him just explode.
Oh. Tremendous burst.
84-yard kick return for Tyler Maxwell, his 4th touchdown return on the season.
Is he on the track team as well? That guy can motor.
And watch him here just split the two defenders and carries Ferris into the end zone. And his final score of the night, coming on that trap play, and he says, excuse me, big fella, I've got an end zone to get to, as he knocks the deal out of the way. But what a terrific night, and we certainly want to recognize that terrific offensive line. They did a marvelous job of busting open those holes.
And you have to take your hat off to Parker. They played tough tonight. Ran into a team that was a well-oiled machine, but they have nothing to be ashamed of. You know, they won 8 straight games to get here, and it's that's a tough thing to do. And played in some tough games emotionally, and it just wasn't their night. But they've got a lot of young guys, and they'll be ready to go next year, I'm sure.
Well, I'm sure that they will use this as a lot of fuel during the off-season workouts. Well, our work is not done yet on the high school football scene for the season. I want to remind you, the next and last high school football game will be next Friday, December the 1st, at 7 o'clock for that 5A semifinal game. It will be Gilbert and Red Mountain. Some might say 2 of the surprises out of the 5A picture. They will tell you we were meant to be here. They proved it last night. And one of them will be marching towards Sun Devil Stadium. We've got it for you next Friday night right here on Cox 9. It'll be our final game. 67-19, the final. Special thank you to everybody on our Cox 9 broadcast crew for all of their help tonight. For our staff up here in the booth, Patty Hodges, Larry Bettis, for Cedric Bonner, I'm Kevin Ray, signing off from Mason Community College, the 3A state champs in 2000, the Blue Ridge Yellow Jackets.